as a lot of you guys know, some of you may not know because I think I've gotten a good amount of new followers since we talked about it, but me and my husband are dealing with infertility. I'm not saying that we are an infertile couple, but we are dealing with infertility, and it's been about 4 years, and I just wanted to come here and talk about the 5 lessons that I've learned through all of this. I'm gonna break it up. I'm gonna do 3 today and then 2 in another video. So the 3 out of 5 lessons that I've learned through infertility is this. 1, my tears, my anger, and my doubt do not manipulate the hand of God. I think a lot of us do it more than we realize. I definitely was someone who was kind of doing it, not realizing I was doing it. That if God saw how broken my heart was, he was sure to do what I want him to do. But no, the way that Moses did it was him and God had a really close relationship, and God trusted Moses's opinion, and Moses was reminding God of his word, of his own words, and reminding God of his own character, and it shifted the plans of God. Second lesson is that bearing the burden of someone else's weakness is to be like Christ. A lot of cases, it's either the wife or the husband. In our case, it's male factor infertility. And I feel like I have gotten a glimpse into the heart and experience of Christ through the fact that all fertility treatment is on the woman, regardless of whether or not she is the one who is infertile in the relationship. And that's quite literally what Christ did. His body bared the burden of sin, even though he had nothing to do with it. He was perfect. And infertility has allowed me to understand in a very small way the experience of Christ, because something that otherwise wouldn't be my experience now is, because I am in relationship, I am in covenant with someone whose weakness requires the sacrifice of my body. And so that is a huge second lesson. And the third lesson I learned is that there is undeniable grace over whatever God's called you to do. And I think we sometimes assume that grace means that it's easy. And really what I think it means is that when you finally lean into the fight, because we're called to fight certain things. And my family is called to fight infertility. And finally, when we start leaning into it, we see the grace of God over the fight. The fight is not easy by any means, but we're seeing the grace of God in the fight. We're seeing bits of favor. We're seeing pieces of his plan in the middle of this really terrible thing that it wasn't even Manny, that I was very hesitant and anti about leaning into. But when I finally leaned into the fight, I felt more grace over the season of leaning into the fight than I did over the season of just not doing anything, because my fear wasn't controlling my actions anymore. There's no grace over fear. There's grace over I'm afraid, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And there's grace over what you're called to do and who you're called to be. Let me know if you want to hear the other 2. Let me know if these lessons resonate with you at all. And I love you guys. Bye.